Hi and welcome to the Blueshirts corner. So the Rangers are going to be taking on the Minnesota Wild tonight, and I'm absolutely wild for this one. I feel like we are going to be rooting for this team as they're back in Madison Square Garden. We're going to get this team back on track. We're going to be screaming our lungs out where the team is going to be back to playing Rangers hockey. I feel like we forgot what it was like just to be in front of the home crowd in Madison Square Garden. So it's up to us to really bring a lot of energy to this team. So I'm looking forward to this one. Let me break down this lineup though. We got JT Miller on the first line playing with Derek Brassard and Matt Zuccarello. That first line is solid. Matt Zuccarello's the glue to this team as JT Miller is just carrying the team in another sense as Derek Brassard has stepped up to be our first line center this season, and Derek Stepan's the second line center. Just hasn't been the same since he had those broken ribs. Suffered a few broken ribs after Matt Berleski in that cheap shot, sending this guy flying like 5 feet into the boards awkwardly. I'm just glad to see that Stepan came back after being only out for a few games compared to what I thought he'd be out for. But you know what? The second line, we have Jasper Fast playing with Derek Stepan and Chris Kreider. As Chris Kreider, this guy is a beast in a sense. His speed is unbelievable. His strength, unbelievable. And I feel like he really needs to get going. I feel like he just hasn't been the same as we've seen in previous seasons. And Derek Stepan looks like he's getting back to playing like Derek Stepan. As Jasper Fast, I feel like this guy shows up every single game. I can't think of one game this season where Jasper Fast didn't at least show up and play. Even if we lose, Jasper Fast is still out there. He's good on the forecheck. He finishes his checks. He's got some speed. He's fast. What can I say? He's been one of the most consistent guys besides JT Miller. And I'm glad to see that second line looks like it's ready for the test, as we need to come out and redeem ourselves after we lost to Minnesota the last time we played them in Minnesota. And I feel like as long as we come out with some jump in this game and get the crowd behind us, we should have no problem. So the third line, we got Oscar Lindberg with Kevin Hayes and Victor Stahlberg. So I'm hoping that third line gets something going. They've had some scoring chances, but I'm looking forward to seeing a guy like Kevin Hayes put up a goal. I'm looking forward to Oscar Lindberg getting back in the scoring race for the Calder. I don't know why this guy cooled down so quick. I'm just hoping he's back to being Oscar Lindberg that we saw to start the season, where the guy went 4 goals in 2 games. Like, the fact that fourth line has Jason Magna on it, as Jason Magna was recalled from Hartford, and I thought that we were going to recall a defenseman due to the fact that now Kevin Kline is out indefinitely with a fractured thumb, and Rick Nash is still out with a bone bruise. Tanner Glass is sitting in the press box. I'm actually rubbing my eyes in disbelief. I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. Alain Vigneault's boy, Tanner Glass, is sitting in the press box as a healthy scratch. I never thought that this day would come. I thought that a guy like Tanner Glass would still remain in this lineup, especially over a guy like Daniel Paille. Daniel Paille, I feel like this guy was supposed to be coming in to fix our penalty kill, and versus the New Jersey Devils, we had 2 penalty kills and we gave up 2 goals. It's absolutely horrendous. It was atrocious to have to watch. This guy is so soft. I don't even know why we signed him in a sense. I look at the defense as Ryan McDonough is playing with Dan Girardi for a top pairing. Look, I could understand the fact that we have Kevin Kline out of the lineup, and I would love to have Dylan McIlrath playing with Keith Yandel. I mean, maybe for a second pairing as opposed to it being the third pairing. But you know what? Dan Boyle, Mark Stahl for second pairing. I'm not going to question it. As long as we come up with a win, I'm happy. We got Henrik Lundqvist in net, so I feel like we're ready for this test. I'm looking for this team to really bounce back versus the Minnesota Wild. I felt like we could have won that last one, and it got away from us. But you know what? I feel like this is going to be our time. This is Rangers town here. We're in Madison Square Garden. We're going to be bringing a lot to the table in this one. You know, there's a lot of questions surrounding this team in terms of trade talks, and I really feel like after seeing a guy like Kevin Kline going out indefinitely with a fractured thumb, this is not the time to even be talking about Keith Yandle getting traded. Like, if we trade away Keith Yandle, I don't know where this team is heading. But we need to keep Keith Yandle, and there's no doubt about it, because now our defense is really hurting without a guy like Kevin Kline in the lineup. I'm glad to see Dylan McGrath is in for this one. I feel like he's going to really bring a lot of energy. But if Dan Girardi does not wake up and realize that he is just not playing in good position, his gap coverage is just awful. He needs to work on it. I feel like he needs to get negated to the third pairing. Like, he really needs to get back to playing the way I thought he was going to play. But anyway, I'm looking forward to this game. I'm in Rangers gear, flipping through the channels, waiting for this game to come on. I can't wait for it. I've just been waiting for this team for over a week to be playing in Madison Square Garden. Just going to keep everybody posted, and just remember, let's go Rangers.